was out. I ran out the left door, turning the flashlight on. The bunny wasn't anywhere in sight, to my luck. As I ran down the hall, I slipped in something on the floor. I fell hard on my knee. I felt like I broke it. I moaned in pain, but tried my hardest not to scream. I felt the substance that I slipped in with my fingers. I smelled it. It was blood. I was laying in a big puddle of blood. I immediately assumed it was the blood of Alex and almost let out a cry of pain and sickness. I tried to get on my feet, but the pain in my knee was unbearable. I started to crawl down the hall with blood all over my arms and legs. I didn't know where to go or how to escape. They would surely catch me now. My luck seemed to have run out because I heard heavy footsteps coming fast down the hall. I had to act quickly, but I didn't know what to do. I looked around me and found a door. I didn't care what room it led to, I just had to get out of the hallway. The footsteps were getting closer. I shut the flashlight and managed to reach the doorknob, pushing the door open. I crawled into the room and pulled the door shut as quickly and quietly as I could. I waited in the darkness as the footsteps came closer and closer until they were right outside the door, and then it stopped. Whatever it was right outside the door. I put my hand over my mouth to muffle my breathing and leaned against the door to block it in case the thing tried to get in. It was probably about 10 seconds, but it felt like a minute before the sound of pots and pans banging around echoed across the building, and I heard footsteps move away from the door. I felt that it was safe to no longer hold my breath and to turn the flashlight on. The light revealed that I had been sitting in a supply closet. I looked around for any kind of weapon, and to my luck, I found a crowbar sitting on a ledge. This was seemingly the perfect weapon to bash a robot in the face with. I waited about a minute until I thought the coast was clear, and I slowly opened the door and crawled out of the room. My knee wasn't hurting too bad anymore, but I didn't want to take the chance of putting pressure on it. Crawling was quieter anyway. As I crawled through the pitch-black hallways, banging into walls, I noticed that almost all of the floors in these hallways were sticky. The stickiness caused my skin to make a peeling sound off the floor each time I lifted my hands or legs. I didn't think too deep into the stickiness, or anything for that matter. I was too focused on getting out of there and finding Alex. As I crawled down the hall, I noticed moonlight shining in through a window in a room up ahead. I hoped the window would be low enough and big enough for me to reach and fit through. I crawled to the doorway, but the sight of two big glowing eyes stopped me. The eyes were fixed on mine, even in the dark. I turned on the flashlight and shined it at the figure. It was Foxy. He looked like a broken, unfinished animatronic with pieces missing altogether. His legs didn't even seem to be finished, as his robotic legs were not covered up by plastic fur, and his feet were just two pieces of metal. He raised his hook hand and started moving quickly towards me. I managed to get up on my feet, ignoring the pain on my knee. I held up the crowbar, ready to swing it like a baseball bat. As soon as the robot got close enough, I swung the crowbar to hit his robotic leg, causing him to fall to the floor. I took this opportunity to smash his robotic head numerous times with the crowbar, causing gears to fly out of its face. The eyes were still glowing, fixed on me, but his legs seemed broken, and that was enough to stop him from getting me. I hopped closer to the window. The other robots no doubt heard what just happened, so I had to hurry. I reached the window. Luck was on my side, because the window was reachable and big enough to squeeze through. I swung the crowbar at the window, but it didn't break. I suddenly heard many pairs of footsteps coming from down the hall. I swung the crowbar again. The window cracked, but didn't break. The footsteps were right outside the room now. I swung the crowbar one more time, as hard as I could, finally causing the glass to shatter. I took a painful leap off both legs to reach the window. I pulled myself up and was about to jump out the window until something grabbed my leg. I turned around to see Freddy Fazbear standing behind me, holding onto my good leg, along with Chica and Bonnie standing behind him.
Why will you leave?
Asked Freddy. Without thinking, I pulled my leg up, causing pain in my knee, and kicked it back with full force into the animatronic's head. This caused it to lunge back a bit and loosen its grip on my leg, giving me just enough time to jump out of the window. I didn't care about the returning pain to my knee. I hopped away from the building as fast as I could, with the only sound I heard being the screaming of the robots to come back. I screamed Alex's name at the top of my lungs 3 or 4 times before getting in my car and speeding to my house.
5 people died entrapped in Freddy's. The visitors are 3 human men, 1 human woman, and 1 animatronic guy. I'll get the golden chainsaw for the coolest kill will go to Foxy. Dull machete for the lamest kill will go to 3 kids.